So you did it! You rolled up your first Spellcaster and now you're cracking open the player's handbook for the first time, only to find out that everything reads like a legal contract written by a devil. Or is that just me? Don't panic, we're gonna cut through all of those fancy wizard words and get to the bottom of what it really takes to cast spells. From how spells work to why your DM is asking if you have any diamonds on you. Maybe they think you're proposing. By the end of this, you'll be ready to start slinging spells like a pro. First off, I'm Sir Bearsworth, guiding creators, shaping worlds, and forging heroes. Before we start getting into the weeds, let's start with a big, simple idea. Don't think of your spellcaster as some complex machine. Instead, think of yourself as having a daily magical budget. Every morning, you wake up with a set amount of magical funds that you get to use to cast spells during the day. We call these spell slots. These slots are like cash, but in different denominations. You've got your big bills, that can be your powerful 3rd and 4th level spells, and a bunch in smaller change, your 1st levels and your 2nd levels. Think of these spells themselves as items in a catalog that you are scouring through and picking out your favorite option. To buy one, you spend a spell slot of the same level or higher. And no, you can't tape 2 1st level spells together and suddenly get a 2nd level spell, just like you can't take 2 5s and turn it to a 10. Once a slot is spent, it is gone for the day, at least until you take a long rest. Your job is to be a magical accountant of sorts, more along the lines of Ben Affleck accountant. You spend that limited budget to solve problems, fight monsters, and look awesome doing it. To put it plainly, your spellcaster, in the wise words of the great bard Jay-Z of New Yorkshire, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. With that in mind, let's get into the 5 things that makes this all click. This is the absolute core of it all. Spell slots are the gas in your magical tank. But here's the thing that always seems to trip people up. Spell level, it does not equal character level. Your character might be 5th level, but you'll only be casting 1st, 2nd, or 3rd level spells. Spells only go from levels 1 to 9. Level 1 spells are certainly powerful effects, shooting flames from your hands or charming the guard that stands between you and breaking the poor rogue out of prison. Whereas level 9 spells let you bend, break, shape reality to your will. Want to call down a swarm of meteors to make the battlefield look like the moon? Or straight up stop time? The most powerful magic of all is chronomancy. Or wish upon a star and literally get anything your little heart desires. But not that, you little freak. You unlock higher slots as you level up. A brand new 1st level wizard, you're only going to have a couple of 1st level slots to play with. But a 5th level wizard, they're walking around with 4 1st level slots, 3 secondary slots, and 2 3rd level slots. Now say you want to cast Magic Missile, a 1st level spell. You spend a 1st level slot. Go ahead and mark it off on your sheet. But what if you're out of 1st level slots and that goblin is just asking for a missile in the face? Pause. If all you have left are some of those 3rd level slots, then by all means you can use it. This is called upcasting. You're basically overpaying, but for a lot of spells, they get significantly stronger the higher level slot that you use, so sometimes it's worth it. The classic Fireball spell, for instance, does significantly more damage when you cast it at a 4th or higher level as opposed to its normal 3rd. The spell's description will always let you know if it gains a benefit from upcasting. So to recap, spell slots are your daily magical budget. You spend them to cast spells, and you can use a big slot for a small spell and get some awesome results with it. Speaking of awesome results, I appreciate all the love you guys have been showing and the support you've been giving me with this series. We've got plenty of more D&D guides coming soon, so feel free to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Plus, check out the rest of the Absolute Beginner series so you can circle back if maybe this is your first one. Now, important question, what happens when you run out of spell slots? Are you useless and is it time to start casting these hands? Not quite yet, but I like where your mind's at. Meet your new best friend, the cantrip. Cantrips are essentially a 0-level spell, which in fancy words just equates to it's completely free. Think of them as little magic tricks that you've practiced so much that you can just do them in your sleep. Which begs the question, what does a warlock look like eldritch blasting in their sleep? Let's not think about that too much. You can cast cantrips all day, every day without ever spending a spell slot. Because they are free, they aren't necessarily going to be as flashy as your leveled spells though. A cantrip may allow you to produce a small flame in your hand, or magically clean your dirty cloak, or fire a little bolt of energy. Oh god, all of the house is on fire. But here's the cool part. Many damage dealing cantrips level up with you, meaning that they'll do more damage over time. That firebolt that did 1d10 damage to the family farmhouse over there, at level 1, it's eventually going to be doing 2d10, 3d10, 4d10, all without costing a thing. Cantrips make sure that even when your magical budget is spent, you are not just some nerd in a robe. You may be out of spell slots, but you're not out of options. Okay, you have your fuel, but how do you actually get the spells? This depends on your class, and it generally falls into two different camps: prepared casters and known casters. Prepared casters like wizards, clerics, druids, these guys are the scholars of the magical world. A wizard has a spell book that could be filled with dozens of spells, but they can't use all of them at once. Each morning you either meditate, pray, or study your spell book and prepare a list of spells that you think will be useful during your day. Think of it like having a massive library at home, but only being able to take a couple of books with you for the day. Tomorrow, you can pick a whole new set. Known casters, like sorcerers and bards, they are the specialists. They know a fixed number of spells in a smaller quantity, and that's their arsenal. They learn new spells as they level up and can often swap out an old spell for a new one. The trade-off for having fewer spells is that they can cast any of the spells that they want at any time as long as they have the slots. It's less of a library and more of Batman's utility belt. Fewer options, but everything is right there within arm's reach whenever you need it. And then there are warlocks. Warlocks are weird. These little demented sugar babies wanted to be different from everyone else. They get their magic from a powerful patron of some kind, and their spellcasting is a bit more of a hybrid. They learn a very small number of spells and have only a couple of spell slots to their name. But the secret sauce of the warlock is that they get their spells back on a short rest as opposed to a long rest. They are built for endurance. Read your class description carefully, because this little feature here can change your day-to-day strategy at any given moment. Right, you've picked your spells, you have a slot, it's time to cash in and cast some magic. Now, how does that happen? Every spell has components, and these are generally listed as a V, S, or M. If you can't provide the components, you cannot ride that magical ride. This means you have to speak a set of magical words in a clear and strong voice, with intent, from the chest, 10 toes down. If you're gagged, trying to be stealthy, or you got surrounded by a silence bubble, any spell with a V component on it is now off limits. You can't just whisper, "I cast fireball." No, if you don't care about the size of the room and who is in it, you are not whispering fireball. S is for somatic. Think of ninjutsu in Naruto. But it's hard. The key here is that you need at least one free hand. If you're holding a giant sword and a shield, you don't have a free hand for somatic components. Time to get creative. M is for material, and this is where it gets fun. Some spells require a specific physical item. To cast fireball, the rules say you need a little bit of bat guano and some sulfur. For detect magic, it's a bit of fur and a piece of glass. Now, before you start gathering supplies like a doomsday prepper, there's a shortcut. A wizard's wand, a cleric's holy symbol, or a druid's sprig of mistletoe. This focus replaces any material component, with exceptions. If the material has a price listed in the book or it specifies that the item is consumed when cast, those ones can't use your focus. You're going to be writing checks that your little wand can't cash. So check the spell's fine print. V and S means you need to be able to talk and wave your hands. M means you either need the item or have a focus, as long as there's no price tag on it. And for our final and maybe most important concept, concentration. A lot of the best spells have effects that last over time. A bless spell that helps your friends hit their targets. An invisibility spell that keeps you hidden, or a hypnotic pattern that dazes a group of enemies. These powerful and ongoing spells will be marked with a C for concentration. Here's the rule, and it is ironclad. You can only concentrate on one spell at a time. The second you cast another spell that requires concentration, that first one ends. So no, you can't cast invisibility and haste on yourself at the same time. But that's why you have another spellcaster in the party. On top of that, your concentration can be broken. The most common way is taking damage. Get hit by a sword while you're concentrating on a spell, you're gonna need to make a Constitution saving throw. The DC is either gonna be 10 or half the damage you just took, whichever is higher. Fail the save and your spell just blinks out of existence. This is a huge part of game balance and stops spellcasters from being able to buff themselves infinitely and become unstoppable gods. Always be mindful of what spells are taking up all of that mental magical real estate. It's not free real estate. So let's put it all together. You're a 5th level wizard. You wake up, replenish your spell slots, and prepare Fireball for the day. Later, a horde of goblins surround your party. This is your moment. You use your action and spend one of your precious 3rd level slots to cast the spell. You yell some arcane gibberish, verbal, start throwing up some gang signs, somatic, and use your staff as a focus, material. A fiery explosion erupts, and now those goblins are falling off the bone like it's tenderism. The spellcasting system looks like a mountain, but it's really just built on 5 pillars. Slots, cantrips, known versus prepared, your components, concentration. Once you understand that contract from the 9 hells starts looking like a one-way ticket to adventure. Now get out there and go cast some spells. What's the one spell you absolutely cannot wait to use for your new character? Let me know down in the description. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and if you feel like you've learned even a little bit, hit that subscribe button. I'm Sir Bearsworth, guiding creators, shaping worlds, and forging heroes. I'll see you all at the table.